From Wisdom to Folly, based on 1 Kings chapter 11 verse 29 through chapter 14 verse 20.
Trouble is brewing in Israel. High taxes anger the people. Some even talk of revolt, but King Solomon refuses to pay attention to any warning signs. One day, as the king's labor foreman Jeroboam leaves Jerusalem.
Jeroboam, stop! I have a message from God for you.
Ahijah? A message from God? What is it? And why are you tearing your robe?
This is how Solomon's kingdom will be torn apart, because he has turned away from God.
Ahijah tears the robe into 12 strips.
Here, take these 10 pieces. They represent the 10 tribes of Israel that you'll rule over when Solomon dies. The other 2 tribes will be given to Solomon's son so that God's promise to David will still be fulfilled.
Solomon flies into a rage when he hears about Ahijah's prophecy.
I made Jeroboam a leader, and now he is using his position to turn people against me. Find him and kill him.
But Solomon continues to live in luxury, and so far removed from his people that their complaints do not reach him. He even ignores Ahijah's prophecy and God's warning that the kingdom will be divided because he worships false gods. Where the king goes, the people follow. Solomon and many of the Israelites worship idols. No country that turns away from God can remain strong and free. King Solomon dies. His son Rehoboam goes to Shechem to be crowned king of all Israel. The northern tribes of Israel have brought their leader Jeroboam to plead their case before the new king.
Your father forced us to pay heavy taxes and work hard on his building projects. We cannot continue to carry such burdens. Lighten our load and we will serve you faithfully. But
come back in 3 days, and I will give you my answer.
3 days later, the people return for the king's answer, but they are disappointed.
My father made your yoke heavy? I'll make it heavier. My father whipped you? I'll whip you with scorpions.
Then we don't need you to rule us. Just because King David was your grandfather doesn't make you our king.
The 10 tribes of Israel break from the kingdom and make Jeroboam their king. In fear for his life, Rehoboam races back to Jerusalem. In Jerusalem, Rehoboam calls up his army to fight against the northern tribes that have revolted.
The men are ready for your orders, sire.
Good. I'll speak to them right away.
Wait! I have a message from God. It is God's will that the country be divided at this time. You men of Judah should not fight your brothers of Israel. All of you go back to your own homes.
The army breaks up and goes home. The 12 tribes, which had been united under Saul, David, and Solomon, are split between the northern tribes of Israel, ruled by Jeroboam, and the southern tribe of Judah, ruled by Rehoboam.
King Jeroboam, do you know that all the people still go to Jerusalem to worship in the temple?
To keep the people from worshiping in Judah, Jeroboam makes 2 golden calves.
when our people escaped from Egypt years ago, they worshipped this God. Worship it now, and you won't have to make the long, hard trip to Jerusalem.
God doesn't like Jeroboam's idol worship. A man of God comes to Bethel to prophesy against Jeroboam. As an insult to the king, he gives his prophecy directly to the symbol of the king's blasphemy.
Unholy altar, a king descended from David will shatter you and execute your unholy priests. As a sign of the power of the Lord, you will now break in 2 pieces.
Seize him!
But the power of the Lord withers Jeroboam's hand before he can draw it back.
I'm sorry. Please ask God to heal me.
Very well. You are healed. But know that God has turned his back on you and your family because you have set up altars in the high places.
Ahijah warns that Israel will be conquered because they have worshipped idols. Jeroboam rules for many years and continues to lead his people in idol worship. Israel never returns to a pure worship of the Lord. For 40 years, each king of Israel is more evil than the one before him.